And the survey says... We appreciate you so much for watching.
My name is James DeBose, General Manager, Head of Programming for Fox Soul, and you are watching the Michael Finkley Show, the greatest man walking in his purpose right now. So make sure you tune in if you want to be blessed.
On an all-new Michael Finkley, Courtney Starks is with us as he talks about his incredible platform and his near-death experience. Next.
If I can make it through the night, just to see a brighter side, 'cause I've been working all my life just to make it.
Howdy, welcome to the Michael Finkley Show. Thanks for joining us today. Now, y'all, I truly believe that we are encouraged by one another's testimonies, by our experiences and what we go through in life. They make us who we are. And I love hearing others' testimonies as well because, again, it encourages me to get to the next stage, the next level, and where I see myself. And I kind of look at myself as well in the mirror sometimes after hearing someone's story, and I'm like, wow, it could have been me. Or, wow, I thank God for where I am because it could have been a lot worse. So we were thankful. We reflect on those things, and I'm thankful for where I am in life because, again, it's making me who I am. And today's guest is another encouragement to me. We have Courtney Starks with us. He tells his story of triumph, success, determination, beating the odds, because many persons did not overcome as he did in his situation. And he also talks about his fantastic platform, one-on-one with Courtney Starks. So don't you go away, another story you do not want to miss. Think fam, we'll be right back. Coming up, we have Courtney with us. Back in a moment.
Hey, this is RJ Smith. I play James on The Rookie on ABC. And right now, y'all are tuned into the Michael Finkley Show. Check it out. It's awesome. Let's get it going, y'all.
On the next Michael Finkley, co-hosts of Say That Channel, we have Janelle and Winston with us as they discuss their awesome platform. Next Finkley, Friday. Hello everybody, it's Finkley from the Finkley Experience. We're an educational consulting firm that specializes in first generation education. So we assist students with their college and career endeavors. We train school administrators on the state of first generation students. And also we partner with colleges and universities to assist with their first generation population for easy transition from high school to college. So if you're looking for a presenter or speaker that presents on these topics and so much more, visit our website at thefinkleyexperience.com and learn about all that we do. We're looking forward to working with you. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. Now y'all, my next guest, he is a survivor in his own right. He is a podcast host and also an author. Y'all, he's none other than Courtney Starks. Courtney, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you for saying yes. This little country boy over here in South Carolina, trying to make things happen over here. And you have been a great impact and an influence on us as well. We watch you and, you know, you have some amazing interviews and you have some in-depth questions and conversations. So thank you for what you do as well. Thank you.
Oh, man. Thank you so much. That means a lot. That really does mean a lot. I appreciate that.
You're very welcome because I'm learning in this industry that we have to encourage one another. There is no competition. You know, we do things our own unique way, but we're going to talk about that more down the line. I promise you. So I have to ask this question. When you were growing up, did you talk a lot?
Yes. And it didn't make any room for me, but it made room for a lot of whoopings. It definitely did. Definitely did. I couldn't stop, and I felt like I needed to have an answer for everything. And growing up, that got me into a lot of trouble. But it also, at one point in my life, almost stopped me from walking into my gift. I was so scared that if I said the wrong thing, that I would be beaten for it or punished for it, that I shut my mouth and I just didn't say anything. And it wasn't until a little later in my life where I was like, oh no, that's not who I am, and I can't be anybody else but this guy. So I learned how to alter what I would say and who I would say and where I would say things, so that way I was being mindful, I was being, I was being purposeful with my words, and they weren't just kind of this coming out, just empty. Like they had meaning, you know what I mean? So I had to hone in on what I was saying and not just saying anything,
Yeah, I gotcha. That's a learning lesson for all of us.
Yeah.
Through experience, sometimes we want to say some things, but we don't. Learn that, and in that learning of how to communicate, when did you actually know that, hey, my voice can help others?
It's so weird that you asked me that, because people always would have thought, oh yeah, when you've been doing this your whole life, right? It wasn't until after my kidney transplant in 2017 that I realized how powerful what I was doing was, how powerful my story was, how powerful my voice was. God has always made room for me in spaces and places, but I didn't realize what these things were, what they meant, how powerful they were, until my kidney shut down. I didn't realize how powerful my voice was until my kidney shut down. And that was all I had. You know what I mean? And it wasn't until after that I realized, oh snap, like a lot of this is happening to you because you weren't afraid to use that thing. That very thing that you were so scared of at one point in your life, you weren't afraid to use it. And you learned how to communicate. And people were not just going to sit here and not listen to me,
Wow. It's amazing at times where it takes something to that magnitude for us to really get in it, and it clicks with us, right?
Yeah.
To you. So you mentioned the procedure about with your kidneys, right? Your situation.
Yes.
At what point did you realize something was wrong health-wise?
Yeah. So in high school, I was at one point known as like the sick kid. I spent a lot of time back and forth to the hospital just because I was going through these ailments in my body and not realizing what was going on. Mm-hmm. I unfortunately didn't have the knowledge of what was going on with my body in full until it was too late. So I remember the week of my birthday just not feeling like myself. I'm in 2008 and waiting that whole week out and getting into the hospital and the doctor saying to me, well, your kidneys are, shut down. And me being the guy that I was, I'm telling them, well, you turn it back on because that's what you do, right? This is what you do. Like, not understanding the magnitude of what was happening to my kidneys or what had happened to my kidneys. I was just known as the sick kid because my weight, you know how that is. The weight plays a factor and all these crazy things that I know now about, I didn't know. And even when they first put me on dialysis, I didn't know what that was. So in my mind, it seemed temporary. Okay, it's a fix. I was in a hospital all through high school. They're going to fix me up and you're going to send me on my way and I'm going to be fine. And it wasn't until they released me that last time where it was like, oh, you're not playing. Yeah. Oh, my life isn't ever going to be the same. Now, how do you survive after that? How do you tell a 19-year-old who's just graduating high school and on his way to what he possibly thought was his future? How do you tell him that all of that now is on hold until you make it? If you make it, you know what I mean? And yeah, that started something that completely catapulted my life,
How was that process mentally for you though?
It was a extremely rough process. After I realized, I remember being in there and telling the doctor, like I told you before, okay, you fixed my kidneys. Now I'm out. I'm ready to go. I got things to do. And he's like, no, So your schedule is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 4.5 hours. And I'm looking at him like, oh, we're not on the same page here. Like, what are you talking about? And I remember him saying, Courtney, your kidney shut down. And in that moment, it was as if I heard it from like the inside of his soul. Like, your kidneys are done. This is not the regular life that you had months ago. Like, you will now be on a machine until you decide to get a transplant. And at that time, I didn't even know what this was. So you're telling me that my whole entire life is changed? The dreams, the things that I wanted to do are gone because of a kidney thing that couldn't be fixed. And for about 1.5 years after I got out the hospital, I was in a major depressive state. I didn't want to get up. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to be bothered with anybody. I sat in my room. The blinds were down in complete darkness because I was mad at God. I was mad at myself. I was mad at my friends. I was mad at my family. How could no one tell me what was going on with me? Right? This is where that blame thing. I'm blaming everybody. People who didn't even know what was going on. How could anybody look me in my face and not explain to me what was going on? And just being mad because I felt like I had so many things that I wanted to accomplish, and now they were gone. The singing was gone. Going to my dream school was gone. Like, what do you tell a 19-year-old kid who has all of his dreams ahead of him? What do you say to him? Because at the end of the day, you don't want to hear God's going to fix it. It's going to be all right. He's going to make a way. You don't want to hear those things in the midst of when you're going through that very, very thing at that time. But it was that thing that I needed after, that got me through,
Yeah. It's hard hearing the positive when you are going through something. We know in the back of our mind that it's true, but when you're going through it, it's just like state of going through. So
right.
At times. And from where you're describing your mental state, my biological father is going through the same thing right now. Dialysis and chemo. Even though that he is in good spirits, I can tell, that is weighing him down just a little bit. In his body, he's tired, because of the treatments. You went through this for 9 years.
Yes.
9 years. And then in 2017, something happened. What happened?
In 2017, after my first call that didn't go through, I was able to get called for a kidney transplant. And it was weird to me. So in 2014, I got that same call. And at that age, I'm in my 20s, I had finally found a way out in my mind, right? Like, I'm going to live. I'm in my 20s. You can't tell the boy in his 20s anything, right? My friends were coming through. Like, everything just felt like it was normal. When you're younger, all of these hardships, you can mask them. Okay, well, this is not going to beat me. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to continue partying and drinking and having a good time. If I can't do what I want, I'm going to do what I think I have to. And I did that. And in 2014, they called me and I got on the table and I remember like posting it. That's when the height of social media was going on. So I'm selfies with the doctors and all these great things. And I'm telling all my friends and family and strangers in the street, I got called for a transplant. And I get on the table and seconds before they can call me, a doctor runs in and he goes, nope, you can't have it. And imagine everything that was going on in 2008 resurfacing in my body and in my mind and in my heart again. Like, God, you can't be doing this to me right now. You can't be telling me that everything that I worked for to get here was once again wiped away. And that feeling of neglect and that feeling of abandonment and that feeling of hurt and pain and rage and anger resurfaced. But this time around, when I got home and I dropped to the floor and I screamed and I hollered and I released this need that was inside of me for all of these years. I remember getting up and like talking to myself and hearing this voice in my head that said, how dare you? How dare you? You keep blaming everybody else, but the person that you're looking at in the mirror, what part did you play in this? What role did you play in this? How did you prepare yourself for this? If I would have given you this kidney, it would have been in vain, because none of this prepared you for this. Drinking didn't prepare you for this. Blaming everybody else didn't prepare you for this. Living this life like as if you were careless didn't prepare you for this. If you don't change your life, you will never be able to get this thing that you say you want. And in that moment, I remember telling myself, you know what? This was not my life. And no matter what I say and what I want, God has a bigger plan. Oh, and Lord. I can't keep running from this. I can't keep running from this. And when I finally said yes, when I finally gave God my yes, everything changed. My life changed. The people in my life changed. The things I listened to changed. The things I watched changed. What I was speaking changed. And in 3 years, he gave me that kidney. He gave me that kidney because he knew that I was ready for it. He knew that the life that he had prepared me for today, I was ready for in 2017. Even with the hurdles, he knew that I prepared him. I gave him 9 years to get himself together and find out what he wanted to do and where he should be aligned with me. And now let's go. You know what I mean? Let's go.
I love it. I love how your attitude changed, right? You learned who you were in the midst, and now we see Courtney. Look at Courtney, y'all. We see Courtney in his whole being, and you wrote about it in this awesome book. My kids tell me, but God didn't. When you read this, what should they be reading? What should they get from this as they're reading?
One of the things that I put in this book, that is my life quote: you don't get the right to give up. You don't. No matter what it is, no matter how hard it is, no matter how hard it may seem, no matter how difficult it is, there is somebody counting on your testimony. There is somebody waiting to live by seeing what you're doing. You are an inspiration. And these people you may never know, you may never meet, you may never see, but our lives are built to be a testimony. Our lives are built so that others can be led. And if you're not doing that, are you living a purposeful life? So when I think of my kidneys failed me, but God didn't, it was just for me, right? That kidney part was for me. But what is it that you were struggling through that God got you through? Not the girlfriend, not the boyfriend, not social media, but what is it that we're living in right now that God has sought you through? Whether it be alcoholism, whether it be drugs, whether it be sex addiction, whether it be cancer, what is it? That very thing that you can say, that thing failed me. That thing failed me. But I can guarantee you God didn't. I'm standing on these 2 feet right now because God didn't. You know what I mean? And that's been my mantra, to remind people that we are going through the roughest times in our life. But if you trust him and you believe in what he says, he won't fail you. I promise you.
Never. I love it. You went through a test to get your testimony.
Come on.
I love the way you said that our story is not for us. Our situations are not for us, right? They're for everyone else to see. And my God, we see it, Courtney. Yeah, but when we come back, we're going to talk about your amazing platform one-on-one with Courtney. Think fam, don't you go away. Back in a moment.
Next, Courtney tells us about his amazing platform. Back in a moment.
Hey, what's up? It's actress and singer Christine Horn, and you are watching The Michael Finkley Show. Boom.
We have so much to talk about. We have so much to laugh about. All here on Finkley.
Colors. What the? Oh, God. This one. Yeah, right, Marine. So I guess we don't stand for colors, huh? I'm sorry. I was starving. What was you eating on anyway? Let me put you on. This that Lucy's hoopie pie. Okay. Hey, but before you go, Marine, what can I get me one of those? Oh, at all the Super Target locations, Sergeant. Okay. And where can you get your chart sheet at in the morning? On your desk. As long as we track it.
Everybody, welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. We're still chatting with Courtney here, and oh my God, you're becoming more three-dimensional than ever. You know how you just you see people on their platforms and you see them in their craft. They're two-dimensional, but you are becoming more three-dimensional as a being because you're sharing your words, you're sharing your experiences, and we appreciate it. And you also here you share with, among other people, right, with your guests on One-on-One with Courtney. How did this start?
So it started with now the name of my company, Courtney's Corner. I tell people it started in the greatest place on earth, my grandmother's kitchen. I literally was sitting in my grandmother's kitchen with a busted Toshiba laptop and a dream. That was it. And I would sit there and I would want to have conversations with people of our age and just talk about the thing that we were going through after high school, as we entered into college, because for most of us, we get to that space and automatically people view us as adults, right? We're just left in society. But in reality, most times, we are still struggling with the transition ourselves. We're done with being called youth, and now we're being called adults, but are we ready? And we're going through so many things, and we're lost and confused, and we're at this crossroad, and we just feel abandoned. Like no one's there to guide us to the next steps. No one's there to tell us what we have to do. And I wanted to have conversations about that. I wanted to see what we were going through. And I remember, I tell people I didn't even name my brand. I remember taking a break because I was sick in my body, and this girl inboxed me and she goes, "What's up with Courtney's Corner?" And I'm like, "Excuse you?" And she said, "Where has your show been?" And it was like, boom. That's the name of the show, to inform, engage, and inspire a group of millennials that are facing social issues in this world right now. And I ran with it. It was so beneficial for me. Like, I know that this is what I needed to do. But sometimes, how bad do you want this thing? How bad do you want this thing? And I was in studio for, I want to say, all of 3 years, and Mama COVID came and shut us down. And I remember sitting at home like, God, if this is supposed to be the thing that you asked me to do, I'm going to trust you. And wherever you send me next, I'm going. And I remember sitting in my house and sitting in my area, and God said, right there. And I looked up, and I was in front of my backdrop. I had my chair, and I had my cameras and my lights. And in my heart, I remember all of the amazing things that has happened for Courtney's Corner is great. But go back to where you started from. One-on-one. Go back to where you started from. Giving people their flowers. Go back to where you started from. Creating the platform when you didn't even have an actual platform. You were just using your gift, and you allowed it to make room for you. So if you can use your gift and still be that purposeful, go back to what was. It ain't broken. It is expanded, but it's okay. And I went on. And what started as a test run for 6 weeks has turned into four seasons of One-on-One with Courtney Starks.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Like, just from an idea, you being obedient.
Yep.
And this is how far we've gotten, and it's amazing. What the process look like for you? Because many people wish to start this platform like yours, like mine, and they see the glitz and the glamour of it. But is it really hard work?
It is extremely hard work. I think most people, like you said, most people see the glitz, the glamour, the celebrities, you know what I mean? But they don't know the behind the scenes, the hard work, the preparation, the fact that sometimes I have other jobs that I have to do in the midst of getting a show ready. I have to find, if you guys watch the show, I never wear the same sweater on the season. So I got to figure out, what am I going to wear? I got to figure out, how am I going to be if I'm extremely exhausted? How do I build up that energy and that strength to be able to sit in front of a camera and do 3 shows in one day? Like, where do you get this from, right? And how do you interview 3 guests and give them 3 different versions of yourself so that way you're relatable to them, right? And then promo it, and then have a whole team behind you who are telling you, well, you should do this, when you already know what the vision is, and they want you to go in another direction. And you're like, no, that's not where I'm going. You know what I mean? And trying to have that willpower to be obedient, but also hold on to the reins of what you built. Because sometimes people want to come in and make it theirs. And you have to remind yourself and remind them that, no, this is God ordained, but I'm right now standing on the head of this thing. And it's going to be what I asked for it to be, because I didn't come this far to come this far. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a tough process. And sometimes I want to go, you know what, this is the last season. Y'all see me when you see me. But then I remember what I tell myself. I don't get the right. If I'm telling you, you don't get the right, it goes twice for me, you know? So yeah.
Oh my gosh. I feel that you're in my mind right now, because all the words you're saying, I felt, so sometimes currently do, you know, so, you know, it's a bigger picture, right? Yeah. And it's bigger than us. It's bigger than our brain, right? Some people, someone needs to see it. And that is how we're in the position we're in now. So kudos to you, my friend. What are some of the most memorable moments from One-on-One with Courtney?
Some of them, I would have to say one of my favorite ones was Sherry Shepherd. Mm-hmm. That was one. She was honestly the first celebrity to give me an opportunity to do what I do, not so much validate, but remind me of me being right where I needed to be. Yeah. When that time in my life, I was like, God, I don't know if this is even impactful. Who's watching? Like, no one's saying anything. And I needed to hear it. I needed to know that something is going good. And I remember saying, you know what, God, you gave me these fingers, you gave me this mouth, put it together and let's work. And I remember reaching out to her on IG Live. And she was like, yeah, I'm coming on, but you know me, it's all celebrities say, I'm not getting a celebrity. Mm-hmm. And she reached out to me like, okay, so what time, what date, what are we doing? And I'm like, oh, this is for real. And at the end of our conversation, she inboxed me and she said to me, you're going to be the next TV show host, period. Like, where you are right now is where you belong. And I remember this video, oh my God, this is Sherry Shepherd that said this. But if I needed God to speak through her to remind me, I don't care if one person is watching, that you are impactful where you are, because someone needs to hear it. We didn't say a plethora of people. We said someone. So if that one person needed to hear that and that catapults something in their lives, then to God be the glory. So I'm just doing what I'm meant to do. And if you watch, you watch. If you don't, God bless you. But it's not going to stop anything over here on this side of town. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow. We're not stopping, Courtney. Don't stop.
At all.
We're not stopping.
At all. You know?
There's too much to do. What is next? What does that next level of Courtney look like? Because like I said, we're both very spiritual beings, and God promised us that our ladder will be greater. So we know we're looking towards the promise. Mm-hmm. What does that greater look like for Courtney?
So for me, it's getting back in my studio with my people, with my audience, and making it bigger and better than ever. We are actually getting ready to test run the old part of our show and add it back to this part, where we give people a second chance at life. You know, those who have been cast out, those who have been incarcerated, those who are suffering with illnesses and feel like no one loves them, no one hears them, no one cares. We want to be able to give them their flowers as well, to pour into their spirits and to pour into their lives, and to remind them that they are the very thing that the enemy is telling them that they're not. And they're telling them that because they know how big the gift is. Mm-hmm. They know how big the gift is. The devil knows how big your gift is. So if he can destroy it, or if he can try to give you words of to discourage you, he will, because he knows where God wants you to be. And a lot of times we as people, we forget that these same people need the same loving that we need. They're no different. You know what I mean? No matter what the circumstances are, they're still individuals and they deserve a second chance. I was given one. So if I can be here right now and have all of these things and given all of the accolades, I want to pull that back. So that's added to our show. So I can't wait to be able to do that. And we have a couple of things in the works, which I can't say yet until I sign the stuff. But I'm excited. I'm just excited to see what God did in 10 years. Mm-hmm. What God did in 10 years. I started from my mama's kitchen. While she was making chicken, I was talking smack. And now I'm here and I have a team of 30 people who just love on me, who appreciate me, who are willing to tell me when I need to be checked. And we do this together every single day. You know what I mean? Outside of the show, we have community events and we give back. We pour into the communities out here in New York, and we just love on the people to remind them that I'm like you. I am you. You know what I mean? And to bring back that word village right where it belongs with us, you know?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We can't wait to see that ladder, sir. Please keep us informed about what's happening. We're going to keep watching. We're going to keep us informed. How can the Fink fam follow you on social media and order your book as well?
Yeah, so my book is out on Amazon. You can definitely catch it there, or hold my website at www.courtneyscornerllc.com. You can also follow me on all platforms, Courtney Starks. That's where I'll pop up. At Courtney Starks Official on IG. Everything else is Courtney Starks. Find my shows as well on IG, as well as Roku, Amazon Fire, and YouTube.
All right, you heard it here, everybody, and your information is in the description below as well. Y'all, he is none other than Courtney Starks. Courtney, thank you for being with us and telling your story in your words. We appreciate you here on the Finkley Show.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you.
You're very welcome, sir. Fink fam, don't you go away. Back in a moment.
What's up, everybody? This is actor Darren DeWitt Henson, and you're watching The Michael Finkley Show. Stay tuned, because there's a whole lot more.
School districts, organizations, nonprofits, are you in search of a new promotional products company? Seegers Promotional Products is a Black-owned national company with over 780,000 products to choose from. Compared to other promotional products companies, they have the lowest prices in the industry. From pens, bags, shirts, they got you covered. They always remember that you are the customer and you come first. They always promise fast production and also fast delivery. With Seegers Promotional Products Company, you truly have the best. Check out their website at seegerspromotions.com and also on Facebook and LinkedIn. And tell them Finkley sent you. On the next Michael Finkley, co-hosts of Say That Channel, we have Janelle and Winston with us as they discuss their awesome platform. Next Finkley, Friday. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. I hope that you learned something today from our guests. Thank you so much, Courtney, for being with us and just being who you are as an individual. Continued success to you, and we're so glad that you beat the odds. Thank you so much for telling your story on our platform. We appreciate you. If you're not already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Michael Finkley Show. Ring that bell for notification. We'll see an email saying, hey, new content's uploaded. Please listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And for more information about what we do on the show, visit our website, michaelfinkleyshow.com. Of course, YOU42. Visit us at YOU42.com and watch our content there with some exclusive things coming your way, I promise you. Thank you so much for watching, and guess what? We'll see you next time. Have a good one.